When you're setting up your 48-volt system, it's really important to choose the right voltage when it comes to your batteries. Now, I've seen 48-volt batteries used, that is my preference, but I've also seen 24-volt batteries put in series and then obviously 12-volt batteries put in series. And I'm going to explain to you why using 48-volt batteries is superior and why you should stay away from 12 and 24-volt batteries in series. So for a simple design, you'll have your inverter, and we'll say this is 48 volts, and it's going to connect down to your single 48-volt battery. And this is going to be your best in your simplest design because the inverter is 48 volts, the battery's 48 volts, the wiring is very simplistic. You just have your positive and your negative going to the inverter and to the battery. Very simple, very little upkeep. Now, if we switch this out and we go over to 24 volt, you still have that inverter that's 48 volts, but now you've got two batteries that are in series. So you have one goes down, this connects over, and then connects back up. You might say, what's the problem? Well, you're going to have drift between these two batteries, and over time, they're going to drift apart. And if the batteries get very low on charge, you have a good chance of one of these bricking. And these are your 24-volt batteries. And I say this from experience because I have bricked two 24-volt batteries before in a 48-volt system. So this is real actual knowledge telling you, do not do this. Okay. Now, there are different balances that are out, but typically that's for 12-volt systems. So I'm telling you, stay away from 24-volt batteries in series for a 48-volt system. More complexity, you've got the drift, and you're making it just more maintenance than it needs to be. Plus, you have a chance of batteries failing. Now, something very popular that I'm seeing a lot of, and I'm going to explain why it's a very bad idea, is to have for your LFP batteries, you'll have four of them in series and then connects up to the inverter. The inverter sees 48 volts, and you're thinking, okay, well, you might have a little more drift, but it's popular. There's a lot of people doing it. Here's why. It does have one advantage over the 24 volt in series. You can have an external balancer that is then connected up to the batteries to help keep them at the same state. So that will help reduce that drift, but there's a lot of complexity to it. Okay. And there's some other problems as well. But the complexity is look at all these wires. You have all these wires that you had to have created, all these different lugs connecting everything up, plus you're trusting that this external balancer is going to keep everything balanced, which as long as it's an active balancer, it should do a decent job of it. But you're adding all this extra complexity, all this extra mess for what? You might say, well, I'm going to get a lot of capacity out of this because if I put in 12 volt, 640 amp hour batteries, I'm going to have just a ton of capacity. Well, there's still a problem. The problem is if you go with a battery that's larger than 314 amp hours, they are putting multiple cells inside that pack in parallel. What's the problem there? Big safety issue. If you have a cell that is failing, normally you'd be able to look at your regular 16S configuration on a 48 volt battery, and you'll be able to see that one cell voltage is way different than the rest of them. And it's the same cell over and over and over again, especially if it's a lot lower than the others. You can see that it's starting to short out, it's starting to fail. It doesn't have the capacity that it used to have. And you'll see that. And a lot of times the BMS will pick up on it. But if you have multiple cells that are in parallel, one masks the other. Very, very bad idea. I do not like batteries that are over 314 amp hours. And I believe maybe 320 is the biggest cell that's out now, but most common one that I see is 314. If it's above that, I do not buy it. I don't have anything that big here anymore. I've gotten rid of anything that large because of that reason. So you have all this complexity. Yes, you might have a lot of capacity, but why don't you just make it simpler? Look at this. So let's get rid of this again. Let's do an inverter up on top. Why don't you just do 2 bus bars, positive and negative. So you're going to have your inverters going to connect up. Let's say you have your 4 314 amp hour batteries, which is a very large system, larger than what most people need. Then you're going to connect the positives to the positive bus bar. Then you'll connect the negatives to the negative bus bar. And it looks complicated, but since you're connecting these to bus bars, it's actually going to keep all of the batteries balanced extremely well, as long as the cables are the exact same length. And you'll have a massive amount of capacity, because if these are 48 volt, 314 amp hour, you're looking at 60 kilowatt hours, which is a tremendous amount of power. So the average home uses 30 kilowatt hours a day in the United States. That's 60. So if the sun's not out for a couple of days, they'll run your house for a couple of days. So if you have that power outage, extended outage, that's going to help you tremendously. I'd rather do this because that's a lot more efficient, a lot safer than to do a lot of 12-volt batteries all in series. And worse yet, trying to do 12-volt batteries in series and then doing a parallel configuration on top of that. That just, the complexity just, it's too much for the average person. It's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of things to keep an eye on. And you got to worry about all those additional balancers trying to keep everything balanced. So this is what I'd recommend. Keep it simple and keep it safe. 48 volt inverter, 48 volt batteries. That's it. Thanks for watching Mike's Solar Garage.